Okay, a good angle. Obviously the other day we had the incident in Boulder, Colorado. It was a pro-Israel demonstration, mostly attended by elderly people, 60 and older, that were demanding release of hostages, even though the American hostages are back or dead. There are still several hostages being detained, and they want to demand their release, blah, blah, blah. And an illegal immigrant terrorist came with Molotov cocktail-style bombs and began setting people on fire. One person did pass away, 10 more wounded. A bunch of people got out their cell phones and started videotaping the incident. That's usually good for evidence in court later on. Some people were trying to talk the person down. Someone called 911, which is probably the first thing you should do. And several people were trying to give first aid. He had some devices in his hand and some devices on the ground around him within reach of him. They said at least 16. Now, fair warning, when someone is that crazy and when their cause is that justified in their sick, evil mind, talking will not work. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did what they thought they could have done at the time. Maybe they figured, let's try to calm him down. But realistically speaking, you're not going to calm them down. Because when someone is so fucking crazy that they're going to set someone on fire, especially an elderly person, whatever their perceived reasoning is, their lunacy and their evil is just not going to work calming them down. And the police did arrive, paramedics arrived, took the victims away, took him away. He was burned himself, he had to go for medical attention. And obviously the gun control lobby, because he had no gun, they don't care. And obviously several Democrats tried to say we need to stop anti-Semitism, which is a fucking joke from their point of view. Because how many fucking sitting Democrats, how many Democrat Congress people call for the destruction of Israel, support the anti-Semitism on college campuses, support calling for killing the Jews? Okay, it's just a fucking waste of my mind. Now, I tell people all the time, you need to carry a weapon. Talk to a police officer and ask what weapons are good in your hometown, that are legal in your hometown or home state. I think that courts where I live are going to legalize tasers pretty soon. There are a couple of lawsuits going back and forth. I think that the switchblade lawsuit is very promising. The gravity knife thing was one, so the switchblade lawsuit should be promising soon. My home state, you cannot carry a sword cane or collapsible baton in public. If you buy it and keep it at home, I don't know who's gonna notice, but if you carry it in public, you're gonna get arrested. But my hometown, my home state, is actually pretty good with weapons. And there are weapons. Obviously, the Supreme Court has legalized concealed carry, and several Democrats are fighting that tooth and nail, trying to overturn or repeal it or obstruct it in some ways. There are several laws, so-called laws, to obstruct concealed carry, and those laws are also being shut down by the courts. But there are many weapons you could carry as alternatives to a gun, or in addition to a gun. Obviously pepper spray, very common woman's weapon. Mickey Mouse. And Mickey Mouse and Star Wars get it last, right? We have Kubotans, fixed blade knives. Now, several years ago, on Oathbreaker in the Bronx, I told the story a million times, rang someone's bell and they had nunchucks on their wall and they were arrested. And the judge named Sonia Sotomayor said, "You have no right to have nunchucks at all." Sonia Sotomayor is now the second stupidest person on this court, I think. And that law has since been repealed. One time I'm on the block working, and a guy has nunchucks in his hand. He's just walking by with them in his hand. I don't know if he's a martial artist or if he's going whatever the hell, or if he's carrying them for protection. He's got them in his hand. Another time a guy has a machete on his hip, cross-straw. I don't know if he's a landscape guy or if he's just looking for protection. I get a guy in the neighborhood frequently who literally has fucking 2 katanas on his backpack, Leonardo style. I'm not even joking. And one time I saw him, he had the 1 katana and a mini bat. One time I saw him, the katanas weren't there, but he had the mini bat and a couple of mini clubs. He had like 3 or 4 clubs or sticks or on his backpack. Yeah. Last week I saw a guy with a samurai sword. He's walking around the corner with it. Now, samurai swords, you can buy a samurai sword with a blunt edge, or a samurai sword with a sharp edge. If the samurai sword is made the old-fashioned way, it's going to cost minimum $500. Now, if I have a samurai sword with the blunt edge and I hit you in the fucking skull with it, it's still gonna hurt. I obviously have my Bastinelli Ascari that I carry, or my cold steel neck knife that I had for like 15 years. You saw me in maybe 1 or 2 videos years ago. Like the Mike Brown was not on video. I've been carrying that more frequently during the week. Yeah. Guys in my hometown are not fucking around. And in my home state, outside of New York City, there is no blade length. If it's a folding knife, you should have it folded in a way unless you're cutting something with it. If it's a fixed blade knife, you should have it sheathed unless you're using it. If it's a defensive knife, keep it sheathed until it's needed. And pretty much as long as you don't have a collapsible baton or a sword cane, you're pretty much left to your own imagination in my hometown. These guys are walking around town with these fucking things in their hands, walking on their backpack and on their side, like it's the fucking Wild West. I mean, the guy walked around the fucking corner, had a fucking samurai sword, walked around the corner with it. I don't know if he's a martial artist or if he just bought it and was bringing it home, or he's walking around, he's got a fucking samurai sword in his hand. I'm not even fucking joking. I mean, this is fucking crazy, but it's true. You need to have a weapon on you. Now, maybe your weapon should be a little more subtle. Maybe it could be a fixed blade dagger under your shirt. And if you're in a situation where someone is literally setting guys on fire while spewing terrorist slogans, and he still has his weapons on him, I would think that's a good case for self-defense. If you have a weapon and you engage him, maybe you don't want to engage from the front, maybe you want to engage from the back or the side. And yes, Tennessee versus Garner specifies shooting someone in the back while they run away. If someone is armed and they are confronting, especially if they've already hurt somebody, they're armed, they're dangerous, and they're confronting, and you shoot or stab them in the back while they're armed, dangerous, and confronting, that is self-defense. Okay, if their back is to you, they might not hurt you, but if they have a weapon in their hand and they're a threat to the public, that's a good case for self-defense. And if I cannot believe that no one in the crowd had a weapon. No one in the crowd had a fixed blade knife, no one in the crowd had a baton, no one in the crowd had a fucking gun. I mean, this is not a joke, people. You need to have a weapon on you. And obviously, if it's a sword, a knife, a dagger, some crazy shit, you can only use it when your life is in danger. But guys, if a guy is spewing out terrorist slogans while setting Opal on fire with Molotov cocktail bombs, that's a clear-cut case of holy shit to me. So talk to a police officer. What's good in your hometown, your home state? Paul Harrell once said, Paul Harrell was talking about magazine capacity. And he said if you have a magazine ban, the odds of you getting arrested for violating your magazine ban is greater than the odds of you running out of ammunition in a fight. He's right. So the odds of you getting arrested for an illegal weapon is greater than the odds of you needing an illegal weapon. But talk to a police officer, talk to a lawyer about weapons are legal in your home state or hometown. Obviously, you can't bring it to a government building. Obviously, you can't bring it to an airport. But try to think about what's legal and what's illegal. That way you have some kind of option. Thank you.